we are in a very dire situation when it comes to the debt situation in this country. That now Kenya is at 13 trillion Kenya shillings in public debt, Honorable Speaker, projected to be over 14 trillion Kenya shillings by mid of next year. Honorable Speaker, this is just an accumulation of the decisions that we continue to take, and especially now, where we are digging the hole even deeper, even when we are in it. That every day, Honorable Speaker, Kenya is borrowing 1.2 trillion Kenya shillings every year. And currently, including today, if you average what you are borrowing, Honorable Speaker, is that you are borrowing 4 billion Kenya shillings in net terms every single day, Honorable Speaker. Net terms meaning even after accepting refinancing, where you borrow the SACCO to pay the Shylock. We have even accepted that, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a very unprecedented situation because in the year from 2002, our debt was 600 billion Kenya shillings. During the reign of President Mwai Kibaki, he borrowed only 1.2 trillion Kenya shillings in his entire 10 years. Honorable Speaker, we are now borrowing more money per year than Honorable Mwai Kibaki borrowed for the entire 10 years, Honorable Speaker. We are now borrowing 500 billion Kenya shillings more than the era of President Uhuru Kenyatta. That at around that time from 2013 all the way to 2022, Kenya was borrowing an average of 700 billion Kenya shillings every year. Now we are borrowing 1.2, and especially out of this year, Honorable Speaker. And I ask this government, do you want to break the record of borrowing? I think the better records to break are the records of good governance, not the records of profligate borrowing as we see it now, Honorable Speaker. And what is even more worrying is that whatever I'm reporting before this House is actually what we would call official debt. This government has gone further, something that has never been done ever. That from last year, we have now opened a separate book where we are calling it many names. In one name, it's called securitization. In another name, it's called Talanta Board. Illegal borrowing. That as we talk before this House today and to Kenyans, that this government is now beyond over borrowing more than all the other previous years. We now want to even borrow and use the housing levy as collateral. And we are doing that so that we do not report these debts in the actual books that are known across the world. And Honorable Speaker, what Kenyans must know is this, that even as Kenya is borrowing over 1.2 trillion every year now, and 4 billion Kenya shillings every single day, any development they can see and touch is actually not out of this borrowing. Any ongoing road in Kenya is another loan on the side called securitization, where even the debt committee in this House has never had even a single document relating to that illegal debt. Anything you see around stadiums being constructed in Kenya is also not part of the official loans that I've reported. It is another illegal loan called Talanta Board, where Kenya borrowed 45 billion Kenya shillings to pay an interest rate, not interest rate, but even amount, to pay the amount of interest over 100 billion Kenya shillings. A loan of 45 billion to pay an interest of 100 billion Kenya shillings. And therefore we are asking as Kenyans, and especially from these illegal borrowings that started last year, the money Kenya is borrowing every day, 4 billion Kenya shillings, and per year, 1.2 trillion. Where is this money going to, Honorable Speaker? And to put it into context, that money that we have borrowed so far, of close to 4.5 trillion Kenya shillings, is enough money to have had 100 kilometers of completed tarmac road in every constituency. It is money enough to have put electricity and connected electricity to every single homestead in Kenya, Honorable Speaker. It is enough money to have connected every homestead in Kenya to clean water, Honorable Speaker.
Add him an additional 1 minute.
And Honorable Speaker, this money is money enough to have made education totally free in Kenya, from nursery, PP1, Honorable Speaker, all the way to the university. And therefore we are asking, this government needs to address Kenyans. This money we are borrowing, where is it going? The second thing is that now we see we are moving away from foreign debt. We are moving away from money we borrow at 3%, tomorrow domestically at around at double digit. And Honorable Speaker, Kenyans are asking why, but this is the answer. We are leaving cheaper money for more expensive money because we are running away from accountability. And that is why external lenders of stature, like IMF, like the World Bank, they are no longer lending money to Kenya, Honorable Speaker, because they can see the kind of carelessness at which you are borrowing. And especially the fact that now the people in the executive pretend to be clever to borrow money on the book and off the book, Honorable Speaker. The other thing that I want to highlight as I come to the conclusion, that now our deficit is around 5.5% of our GDP at the beginning of a financial year. And this is always a moving target as we move towards the closure of the financial year. Honorable Speaker, that we are now at 5.5%, meaning we can already foresee by the closure of the financial year, maybe it will be around 7%, something unprecedented. It is time we call the leadership of this country into order. We cannot continue to overburden the current Kenyans, and at the same time, we want political collapse by overburdening hugely even the future generations. It is time for this house to stand up, Honorable Speaker. It is time for this house to say no to this profligate borrowing.
Order, Ndindi. What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, with due respect, Mr. Speaker, is it in order for my good friend, the former chair of budget, to look at this government when he served as the chairman of budget for 3 years and he budgeted a lot of debt to this country, Mr. Speaker? I thought it could be only wise to advise rather than lecturing the same government that he served for 3 years and budgeted a lot of debt in our system.
You had exhausted your time. I think he just made a comment. He made a comment. To do what? To contribute or to respond? Give him half a minute.
Honorable Makirap, it is very good you actually rose as part of the debt committee, just to show Kenyans that you have slept in your job for the last many years you've been in the debt committee, that the budget committee was about spending